Alright, what's up everybody? We're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we got another episode of the Look In series, a series where at the end of each 30-team season, I go in, look at, recap their season, look at their future, the state of the team, all that stuff like that. Today, we got our first playoff edition. First team that lost in the playoffs, we have the Phoenix Suns. Got a whole lot to talk about with this Suns team, man. And yeah, thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications and also like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. Join the membership if you want to learn more about the membership. There's a video on my channel explaining all of it. If you missed any of the other looking episodes, you can go back to place on my channel, watch that. Links to my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that in the description down below. And yeah, don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get right to it. So the Phoenix Suns, they literally have just been swept by the Timberwolves. Like literally, I'm recording this like maybe 10, 15 minutes after the game just ended, Game 4. They've been swept. They're the first team out of this playoffs. And there's a lot to talk about with the Suns team. They finished the regular season going 49-33, the sixth seed in the West. Disappointing playoffs. But first, going to start in the offseason, months and months ago, where they lost in the second round last season to the Denver Nuggets in 6 games to the eventual champions. And there's a new owner there, Matt Ishbia. They traded for Kevin Durant. They were in the finals a couple years ago. The last 2 playoffs had not gone well. They got embarrassed by the Mavericks in 7 games in the second round, embarrassed by the Suns in 6 games last year in the second round. And it was like, all right, we got to the finals. How do we make it back there? We fired Monty Williams, bring in Frank Vogel. You know what? We got to make another big move. They trade Chris Paul for Bradley Beal. They also trade DeAndre Ayton in the Damian Lillard trade. They get involved in DeAndre Ayton in the Damian Lillard trade. Get rid of DeAndre Ayton, who wasn't really happy there. Bring in Yusuf Nurkic. And they changed the whole team around. And their free agency was basically, who can we sign for minimum contracts? And that's what they did. They signed Eric Gordon, a bunch of other guys that didn't even end their season on the team. And it was just really like a makeshift, a super team. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. We got Grayson Allen in the Damian Lillard trade. We got Yusuf Nurkic, and we're just gonna roll with that, you know. And from the start, it was kind of looked to be doomed a little bit. Bradley Beal missed a lot of time this season. Devin Booker missed some games. Kevin Durant missed some games. Kevin Durant only missed 7 games at 35, which is pretty good. Kevin Booker missed 14 games. Bradley Beal missed almost 30 games. And the big three together didn't play a whole lot of games together. They had some good moments, some bad moments. Just couldn't really find a way to put it together, you know. But they ended the season off pretty well. So it was like, all right, going up against a young Minnesota Timberwolves team that doesn't have experience. The Suns, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal was doing good at the end of the season. It was like, yeah, all right, let's see what they can do. A lot of people picked the Suns. I think the Suns were the favorite going into this series. I'm pretty sure the Suns were the favorite going into the series, and they got smacked in the face. 4-0 Minnesota. Credit to Minnesota Timberwolves. Whatever I say about this Suns team, and there's a lot I gotta say about this Suns team in this series. We just want to know that this is no discredit to the Timberwolves at all, because Minnesota came out and absolutely dominated this series. Like they really put the world on notice. Like, hey, we're a top seed for a reason, and they showed that all respect and credit to Ant-Man and the Minnesota Timberwolves. But this Suns team in this playoff series, I'm gonna go on a little tangent here. I'm sorry. This Suns team in this playoff series, they might be the most disappointing team in the playoffs this season. One, they get swept, obviously, but it's just the way they like. You could lose games. It's the NBA. You're gonna lose games. Obviously, no one's ever been perfect, and you might lose a series. That's just how it happens. But it's the way you look and the way you lose a series. And what makes this Suns team that much disappointing is the way they lost. Like if they lost 4-0 or 4-1, and all the games came down to the last 2 minutes, and Anthony Edwards just hit some crazy shots. We've seen that before, where like it was a sweep or a 5-game series, but it was a close 5-game series, like it was an earned 5-game series. This wasn't that. This was the Suns got embarrassed in this series. The first 3 games, at least. Game 4, they put up a fight. Well, they had to. they had to. They chose a game too late to do it, but they did. But the first 2 games in the series, and I said it in my playoff recap videos. By the way, if you don't watch the playoff recaps, go back and watch the playoff recaps. Drop them every day after every playoff game. But this Suns team has no fight and no sense of urgency in this team. There's so many moments The third quarters have been killers. The first 3 games of the series, every time it's been the same script. Minnesota gets off to a decent start. Phoenix bounces back in the second quarter. It's a close game at halftime. We go to the third, and Minnesota punches them in the mouth, go on a run, and Phoenix just lies down. Phoenix just doesn't respond. You know, like the first 2 games, it was just like Minnesota went on their big run. Phoenix just put their head down, started missing defensive assignments, started not being aggressive, not taking shots. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker passing the ball up, not looking like they want to play basketball, and Simmons whapped them. Game 3 was really where it hit the breaking point. Game 3, you're down 2-0, back at home. We know the record by 3. They say every time, no one has ever come back from down 3-0. So basically, your season is on the line right now. Your season is on the line right now. And what you choose to do, and you come out in the third quarter, you get outplayed out by a lot. It happened again. Minnesota went on a big run, and Phoenix just had no sense of urgency. Kevin Durant, in the second half, the last 2 games, even this game 4 in the fourth quarter, just didn't look like he wanted the ball. Too passive, standing in the corner. Devin Booker passing up shots sometimes. Bradley Beal, that's a whole nother story that we're going to get into. And it's just like, oh my goodness. Like, Minnesota dominated them on the glass. All the 50-50 and hustle plays, Minnesota did it all. Defense communication, never there. Like, it was bad. It was bad. And I want to be louder and yell about this, but it's literally like 1 o'clock in the morning and people are sleeping. I don't want to yell. But it's like, it's just, I'm not a Suns fan at all, by the way. But if I was a Suns fan, I would be angry and disappointed and mad at this team in this series. They have a right to be with this performance. And now, the first team out of the playoffs, they get swept. Bradley Beal, yeah, they basically gave up the whole team for him, put the team in jeopardy financially and for the future for him. And in a game 4 elimination game, he finished with 5 points and 6 fouls. Wait, did he have 5 points? Actually, wait, he might have had 7 or 9. Actually, he had 9 points. 9 points and 6 fouls in an elimination game, game 4. Do with that what you will. But yeah, and now we look to the future, and things don't get better for this future. Coming into the season, the expectation was a championship. They've been in the finals a couple years ago. Last 2 years, they're 1 or 2 wins away from getting back to the conference finals. You made the Bradley Beal trade to form a super team. You sacrificed basically the entire future and the financial future of this team. And when you make moves like this, it's like, okay, you do this to get a ring. And they made the moves to get a ring, and they get swept in the first round. And now it's like, what do we do? James Jones, I don't want to be in. I think he's in one of the worst positions. Like, I would not want to be James Jones right now, because this is gonna give him a headache throughout the entirety of the offseason. Because this is bad. This is bad. One reason why it's bad is they have no first round picks. Not just this year, not just next year. They don't have their own first round pick till 2030. 2030. That's 6 seasons. 6 years. 6 years. You do not have your own first round pick. Yeah. So no new talent is coming in the door. No leverage on trades or anything is coming to the door. So yeah, look at free agency, look at their cap space. They have negative $100 million in projected cap space next season, which is 27th in the league. Their free agents, Royce O'Neal is really the only real free agent. Everybody else didn't play. So really, Royce O'Neal isn't coming back. But you look at the cap table on this team, it's bad. Bradley Beal got paid his money by Washington last offseason. One of the biggest contracts in NBA history. Devin Booker just signed a new extension. Grayson Allen just got a new contract as well right before the playoffs started. Look at the cap for this is next year's salaries for the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant's getting paid $51 million. Bradley Beal, who just had 9 points in an elimination game, $50 million. Devin Booker estimated around $49 million. Yusuf Nurkic, 18 million. Grayson Allen, 15 million. Your starting five has projected, what is this, 150, 178, 190. Your starting five is getting paid a combined $193 million next season. Your starting five is getting paid $193 million next year. You just got swept in the first round. Embarrassingly swept in the first round. Not even to mention this year, Little still has $6 million. Eric Gordon, Josh Okogie have player options. David Roddy still is on the contract. Damian Lee and Drew Eubanks have player options. It's $193 million. And add on, Kevin Durant still has an extra year after this year. Bradley Beal still has an extra year and a $57 million player option in 2027 that no way he's going to turn down. And Devin Booker just got paid his new extension, so he's still going to be on the team for 4 more years after this. So it's not like these guys are on the last year of their contract. Yusuf Nurkic still has 2 years. Grayson Allen still has 3 years left and a player option in 2028. So it's not like this money is going anywhere anytime soon. This is the team. And now we look at what to do with this Suns team. What do you do? The thing that's most likely I think gonna happen with this team is that you're gonna have to maybe, if you want to keep the same starting five, you're just gonna have to hope that some good players want to come try to help this team on minimum contracts. You have to find guys that maybe just don't have luck and are sitting in free agency and will play for you on a vet minimum contract and hope that works out. Hope the luck of the draw that some players are going to be like, you know what, I'm going to go to Phoenix and help them win a championship. I like KD. I like D-Book. I like Arizona. I'll go over there. Gotta hope that. Maybe do you take the combination of Yusuf Nurkic and Grayson Allen's contracts and try to either A, get another good player, or B, unload that to get a little more money? I guess. Even though Nurkic and Allen have had good years, Grayson Allen was the best 3-point shooter in the league, even though he only played in 2 playoff games this year because of injury. Nurkic is all right, I guess. Like, do you do that? Or the thing that would be interesting to see is that do you trade one of the three? Do you trade one of Kevin and Devin, realistically? Of course, you'd probably try to trade Bradley Beal, but who right now in the NBA is taking 50, 53, and 57 million for the next 3 years of a 31-year-old Bradley Beal that just scored 9 points in an elimination game? Who's taking that? Not me. And and want a no trade clause. I forgot a no trade clause too. So you might not. Yeah, you can't trade Bradley Beal right now. You might have to pick between Kevin and Devin and roll from there. Kevin is 35, about to be 36. He has 2 years left in his contract. Do you trade Kevin Durant again and just say, hey, you know what? Devin and Bradley, we think can do the job. The 2-guard lineup can do their thing, and KD can get back. Still, even at his age, can still get back a lot of valuable stuff. Or do you trade Devin Booker? I think this is the first time in his career that we're actually, I think, considering Devin Booker as a trade piece. I honestly thought Devin Booker would have been a Suns lifer, if not a lifer, been there for a really long time. But now, honestly, his future in Phoenix might be in doubt. Devin Booker might be on another team, which honestly, I can't really even picture Devin Booker in another jersey but the Suns. But right now, it's like all options are open. So do you trade your guy that you drafted 13th overall, you developed into a superstar? Do you trade that and build around Bradley and KD? I honestly don't really like the sound of that, but it might happen. Or do you just blow it up entirely? Trade both of them and just say, you know what? This didn't work. We're just going to go full on rebuild. But Devin, you're out. Kevin, you're out. Yusuf, Grayson Allen, bye. Bradley Beal, if you want to request a trade, go ahead. Just clear everything out. Let's start over again. That's probably the least likely of options, but it's an option you might have to consider. So yeah, James Jones. I would not want to be in James Jones' position right now because this is a lot to figure out. This is a lot to figure out, man. The Suns are in a very this could get really bad for the Suns, man. They're stuck unless you're considering trading one of Kevin and Devin. You kind of are stuck with this team for the next few years, and just kind of have to be like the Lakers the last couple years, where they just have LeBron, AD, and just get a bunch of and just refresh the roster every year. You know, just say, okay, LeBron, AD, okay, they don't work. All right, take those four out, bring in the next four minimum. Like that's really what the Suns are gonna have to be if they're not trading one of their guys, because it's like you don't have any financial wiggle room at all. You don't have any trade assets at all. Like you don't have anything really. Honestly, you kind of just have to bank on hopefully the next batch of free agents come out and are good, and hope maybe that an extra year of Devin, Kevin, and Bradley together they can build a chemistry and find a place to and find how to play together. You know, hopefully you can find a point guard. That's been a one big thing. The point guard play that they don't have is a detriment, and good point guard play is one of the most important things in the NBA. We see that. So not having that, not having a bench hurts. You know, yeah, this Suns team is just I wouldn't want to be in the Suns organization right now because things look very tough. The future looks not bright over in Phoenix. Can James Jones find something? Maybe, but I think the only way you find something is if you hit on your minimum players. You hope that the big three can find a way to put it together, or it might have to come down to you might have to trade one of Kevin and Devin, or magically some stupid team out there says, we'll take Bradley Beal. And not even because Bradley Beal has a no trade clause. So I keep forgetting about that. So that's out of the question. Like, oh my goodness, man. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. But yeah, Suns are eliminated. Sorry, Suns fans. Next year, maybe, hopefully. But they're going to be a very interesting team to keep your eye out for during this offseason. But yeah, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really have said a lot. If you missed any of the looking episodes, there's a playlist coming up right here. You can look and check those out right there. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.